Hey, Greg.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
It's the show intro, our very professional show intro for
Yeah,
practically advice.
we practiced this just like
We
this. We
totally
practically
practice this.
practiced it.
We did. We're ready. Yeah, I was just saying, just before Greg and I hit record, I did two workouts this morning because I wanted wanted to be a go-getter. Do you work out
Just
often?
uh I try to like I have a good gym here that I can
Okay,
use when I want to, but I don't know. I just haven't been able to get myself in a good routine lately, so it's been a while.
that's
And
that,
I have weird body stuff that like if my back starts to hurt, then I can't really work out for a week and then I rest and then it's really hard to get back into the routine after that.
we are over 40, Greg. I
Well,
feel like
I wish I could say this was a new thing, but this is kind of just the way it's always been. Uh,
oh,
I've had
no.
back and knee and neck and a whole bunch of other stuff, so there's always
Yeah,
something going on with me.
that's true. I feel like there's always something going on with me too. Like I try my best to hold it together, but as someone who has had anxiety pretty much my entire life, I think I had my first panic attack when I was 9. So I'm pretty much an OG. But I'm very good at pretending everything's cool,
That's
but it
good.
isn't.
Yeah. No,
Denial, I believe they
yeah.
call it. Denial.
Well, like I think like part of working out is like fighting through the discomfort of it. And so like I'll try to do that,
Yeah,
but then I don't know. It's like the pain is trying to tell you something. So if I push myself beyond like what I'm capable of doing, then I'll pay for it later. But I
that's
do need to
true.
get in better shape. It's about time. I just had a birthday and it's starting to feel like
Yay. I love
yeah,
birthdays.
I
Happy
didn't love
belated.
this birthday. Oh, thank you. I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was fine. It was a nice birthday, but it's like I'm getting into those numbers that are just they're getting they're more and more meaningless every year.
Mm.
Like unless it ends with a zero, I it's not really an important birthday anymore. So I just
It's
rather
important
ignore
you're
it.
here, though.
Yeah, I guess. It's
I think
just
so.
it's just a celebration that I survived one more year. So
Well, you can have an unbirthday, as they did in Alice in
yeah.
Wonderland.
Yeah, you
You
could
can
do that.
celebrate. You
Well,
can
I will
celebrate
say
the
this.
unbirthday.
So, like, this will tell you how old I'm getting now. Like, for my birthday
Mm.
this year, I got a bird feeder with a camera in it. So now I can watch my birds as they eat. So, like, I got a notification just before we went live here that
Saw your Facebook post.
there's a purple finch on my porch right now as we speak. And I
Oh,
could watch him
wow.
right now. I could snoop on my purple finch if
Oh my gosh, by the
I
end of the podcast, we need to know what's happening with the bird feeder.
so far it's only been I get two purple finches. There's a male and a female, and
Okay.
like they're beautiful birds. But I bought the seed that was specifically supposed to attract the cardinals, and I haven't had any cardinals yet. But
Okay, well,
like I'm easing into my old age
I
with
love
like
this for you.
accepting that I'm a bird guy. So for
Yes.
Christmas a couple years ago, I got some like really good bird watching binoculars, and I bought myself a monocular. It's just like I could look at them just to like from far away. I'm fascinated by birds. I always have been, but like the older I get, it's been like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be a guy who sits on the porch and watches the birds.
You are not the only friend I have who is starting to come to terms with their inner bird watcher. Like this
Yeah,
seems to be a thing with my friends as the numbers keep getting higher. The bird watching is like, but if there, I was going to say, if there are any cardinals listening, get on Greg's bird feeder.
Yeah, seriously. No, we have some beautiful birds that live in the woods, like right behind the house. So I get a lot of cardinals, I get a lot of blue jays, and I, just there's probably like a couple dozen different species that live around here. So
Oh
I've
my
been watching birds
gosh.
for a couple of years, but now I have a camera so I can like watch them up close.
I
I
love
don't know.
that.
I
Outside my window, Greg, you've got the birds. I've got drug dealers at night.
Oh, okay.
They're just as exciting.
That is
I
exciting
got the
too.
binoculars.
You should get about you could probably have a camera too. So
I feel like Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote. Just watching.
well, I, as I got older, like I knew I wasn't going to be the guy who builds train sets in his basement. So I needed to
Mm,
have like something that
that's fair.
I can accept that's like my old man hobby. And like I'm
That's
not like a tinkerer. I don't like to build things. It's not really my thing.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, but it is funny though that like we are in the generation that's like there's going to be old people in our generation that they get old and they're going to still be playing with Legos. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
And listening to Lil Wayne as they build their Lego.
exactly,
That's going to be the
exactly.
oldies one day,
We are
Greg.
our generation is going to be the funniest old people ever. I can't wait.
I love
Nothing's
it.
going to make any sense.
No, I love being a Gen Xer because
Hmm.
we have had just like a poo-poo platter of everything. We've had, pre-internet, for those of us like myself with parents who were teens in World War II, I got that. I've got just a nice sampler of like a mix of stuff.
Exactly.
And now I've got that old person thing of I'm not getting on that app. I have too many apps. What does that app do? Just
Yeah.
I've hit my
Well,
app limit.
I can only like
Yes.
focus on like two things at a time, anyways. So if I
Okay.
add a new app to my phone, something has to come off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, someone said to me, do you want to join us on Discord? I was like, no.
No,
I
I don't
don't
get
I
it.
don't.
I'm not learning something new. Sorry. We're still on Facebook, maybe Twitter. I love TikTok. I've just gotten really into TikTok
Okay.
recently, and I've started going
Okay.
live. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
So I'm learning the rules of TikTok. There's certain words you can't say, or you will get banned. And they're regular, normal words. You can have a normal conversation, and but
Yeah.
either yeah,
Yeah, I'm not on the TikTok, but
it
that's
takes up
okay.
a. It's very addictive. TikTok knows everything about me, and I'm okay
Well,
with it. The feed that I get, the algorithm knows me better than I know myself.
the bots are winning, Greg. The bots are
I'm leaning in. That's fine with me.
fudge. I just want a Rosie from like back in the Jetsons
Yes,
cartoon. I
exactly.
want a Rosie the robot just going around. She seemed really nice.
She
I
did.
don't know if I don't know if you were like this, but and it's okay to plead the fifth. But when I was younger and watched the Jetsons, and if you don't know what the Jetsons are, friends, give it a Google or whatever search
I don't
engine
think
you're
people that
using.
don't know the Jetsons are going to be watching this podcast, but just in
You
case.
never know. You never know. But touche. But I thought when the year 2000 hit, we were just going to get shot into space and be living in the clouds.
Uh,
Like, my brain couldn't understand how I was going to go from living on Earth to living in a briefcase that folded out into a
yeah.
flying car. I was very disappointed when 2000 came around for numerous reasons. One, I'm still pissed off about all that Y2K scare we lived through.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, it was too
So
much.
supposedly George Jetson, they said that he was born in 2022. So George Jetson is alive right now and he's almost three.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Isn't
I
that interesting?
forgot. That's
I don't
interesting.
remember when they said that, but like I saw that recently on some meme that George
Oh, wow.
Jetson is alive right now. So
Wow. If it was on the internet, clearly it was true.
it must be true. Yeah.
It was obviously true. But
I
those who go ahead.
no, I'm fascinated with like future movies. Like Demolition
Yes.
Man was one of my favorite movies growing up
Yeah.
because it had such a unique idea of what the future was going to be. But I think we are past where that was supposed to have taken place. I think it was like 2015, or something
Yeah,
like that.
it is. Yeah, it is interesting. Like when you go into those movies, or for me, being a really big like Ray Bradbury fan,
Yeah.
fantastic sci-fi writer from like 40s, 50s. Um, his book Fahrenheit 451, I remember, which is the temperature at which paper burns, for those
Hmm.
who don't know. And I hope I have that title right. And I'm not
Yeah,
having a
it is. Yeah.
perimenopausal moment. Okay, good. But I remember reading that book. My sister gave it to me when I was, I don't know, 12 or something. And I read it going, well, this seems ridiculous of being told what to think and walls of TV monitors and books
Uh-huh.
being banned. And no, that is happening.
Uh-huh.
It's
No,
wild.
I'm always I don't think it's a coincidence that the Amazon Kindle is called Kindle. It's like kindling because now we don't have books anymore. Now we just have them all online and they can make
You
them
just
disappear.
exploded my brain.
I know they can make them
You're
disappear off our
right.
device if they want to. So no, I love that book. I used to get really into the like the dystopian future kind of books like
Yeah.
1984 and
Yeah.
anything like that. Just
Yeah.
because I don't know, it's fascinating to me to sort of watch how other people imagine the future to be, and it's like even if it's a worst case scenario, which a lot of those books were, um, I don't know, it gives you something to look out for.
It does. It does. And we have a lot to look out for. There's a lot of divisiveness between our two countries right now. So Greg and I are going to try to patch over the US-Canada rift.
We'll see. I don't know. You are Canadian. We'll see if you and I are able to make this work.
Oh, I think I have faith. I have faith. It's not our fault. It's the people running our countries.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
you gave me in our last episode you gave me a trivia question about my country that
Yes.
I don't remember if I
Yes.
knew the answer to it or not, but
That's
I
okay. No
came
one else heard the pilot but us. So it's
that's perfectly fine. They're go back and watch this after this one because this is already our best episode yet.
it is. Yes.
But I have a question for you about my country
Please. Okay.
because I like stuff like this. Which U.S.
Okay.
state has a law making it illegal to hunt whales from the shore?
From the shore?
From the shore, which state is it illegal to hunt whales from the shore?
I am I feel like this could be a middle America question. Like the answer could be like Kansas.
You're
But
not far off.
ah,
It's actually it's Oklahoma, which is completely landlocked.
wait, what? What?
There is it's I guess it's a quirky leftover law from like a broader wildlife thing, but
From when this planet was formed and
I,
Oklahoma had a
I have
shoreline?
no idea how they ended up. I love weird laws like that. In Florida, it's illegal to tether a giraffe to a light pole. So, like, why is that a
Wow.
law? Yeah.
That that is absolutely fascinating.
I love obsolete laws or laws that don't make any sense. It's my favorite thing.
I
And
love that. Can I counter with a weird
oh yeah,
Canadian?
absolutely. Go ahead.
I've got one that kind of merges both of our countries, which hopefully we will stay as two separate countries. I'm not a fan of that whole merging idea that's going around. But this does sort of bring together something that I think many Canadians are under the impression happened. I know I was there during the War of 1812. There's been a long-standing tale that Canadians were the ones that burned down the White House. I have believed that for a good chunk of my life. I learned recently it was actually the Brits.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually what I always knew.
I
I
didn't
didn't,
know
I
that.
never, I,
We have
yeah.
always said it was Canada who burned down the White House. I didn't know that.
No, I'd never heard that until recently. Like I read something on Twitter where somebody was like, "Oh, those silly Canadians, they still haven't learned their lessons from burning down our White House." Like that wasn't a thing.
No, it was apparently the British forces that torched the White
Yeah.
House. Um,
Yeah, I think
I didn't know.
It was Dolly Madison, I think, who had to save all of the artwork.
I thought you were going to say Dolly Parton. Um,
No, it wasn't Dolly Parton. She just lost her husband though.
I know,
Yeah.
Carl. I love Dolly
Uh
Parton. She's a
so
treasure.
she is. What else
Yeah.
has been new in your comedy world lately?
Well, trying to navigate, and this is sort of like of the ti day and time we're in right now, but trying to navigate how to do comedy in uh you know in spaces that aren't going to trigger people politically. It's just I feel like comedy right now, I'm afraid of um sort of like struggling with my words here, but I'm afraid of like free speech being taken away just at the rate we're going with everything. And I'm like, I'm not a political comic at all, but
Uh-huh.
it's interesting how I see the rules kind of changing in the States right now. And I've got a partner who's based in the US. He's in Brooklyn. Um, I'm starting to wonder, like, oh God, can I even travel as a single female these days? And so it's weird how like my brain is sort of short-circuiting of like what could go wrong and then trying to find the joy that comedy gives me and going out and doing my sets, but not freaking out at the same time. Does that,
It
I'm
is.
just terror-stricken right now, Greg.
I'm sorry to laugh at that. Because it is like it's a real thing that I think, and again, our media doesn't do a whole lot to help us with this.
No.
It's almost like a constant daily barrage of what we should be afraid of. And I am the
Right?
kind of person who, like, I've had to deal with this a lot in my own life before all of this went
Yeah.
on, which is
Yeah.
like my own anxiety about everything, anyways. So I've had to learn to really categorize the things that I'm supposed to be afraid of into what are
Yeah.
they telling me to be afraid of and what's like a
Yeah.
legitimate fear. And anything that like I tune out on I don't watch the news anymore because most of it is just basically fear porn. And it's
Oh,
like
absolutely.
it's absolutely impossible to know like fact or fiction when like
Take some work.
it doesn't matter which channel you watch, like they have an agenda and they want you to be afraid of something, and I won't be manipulated that way. So
Yeah.
I just live in
Yeah,
this
it's
space of
tough.
sort of ignorance. It's really tough. And as far as like doing comedy, what I find is that like I still see comedians trying to bring up political stuff, and that's fine,
Yeah.
but I'm not
Hmm.
that way. But like
Yeah.
if you
I
do
agree.
bring up anything, immediately like people's like their political side, like they choose sides, right? And then that
Yeah.
matters more than laughing at the joke. So
Right.
like whenever you hear something political and somebody will yell out the name of their favorite politician, it's like, oh, that's so cringy to me because that's not why we're here. We're here to get away from all that.
Who's your
Right.
favorite politician, Greg? Shout them out.
Shout out the name. So it's just like I experienced it this weekend
Oh,
where
wow.
like I can handle heckling from most things, but that's not like a
Mhm.
comedy heckle. It's just a uh
Yeah.
it's a hijacking of the room almost. So like
Yeah.
it annoys me that we can't say whatever we want because we just want to make fun of everything. That's our job.
Exactly.
And
Right.
and like I take that seriously. I love to make
Hmm.
fun of everything.
Yeah.
So if I can't even bring something up without it triggering somebody in the room into like a tirade or
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. I don't like choosing sides. My job is there to when I go into a comedy room, I'm there to make everybody laugh. It doesn't matter who you voted for.
No, I'm the exact same way. And I find it of late as somebody who focuses more on family, relationships, general wackiness of life stuff. With, maybe the occasional thing because I am dating an American, I'll, poke a little bit of lighthearted fun as, some couples have separate bedrooms, we have separate countries, but like that's kind of as far as I go, you know. But of late, I've found like I feel sort of like the odd person out because so many other sets are really, and rightly so, because there's a lot to get into in life these days, more politically heavy. And then you've got me that's like, hey, have you heard about menopause?
I completely relate to that. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I guess like I got into comedy because it's silly, because I like being silly. And like it is an escape from the heavy stuff. And
Yeah,
quite frankly, there are comedians who do comedy for different reasons than that. A lot of people get into comedy because they like the idea of being an activist and they like the idea of
exactly.
sort of
And
like
that's great.
deconstructing, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I encourage that, but it
Hmm.
doesn't always necessarily fit together on the same show.
Hmm.
Or are they doing comedy for laughs? Or are they doing comedy for clapping? And that kind of
Right.
annoys me. It's like I go for the laugh. Always go for the laugh.
I like me an applause break though. I like me an
Oh,
applause break.
I would differentiate the applause break from the clapter. It's like, oh yeah, this
Oh
person's
yeah.
absolutely right.
Or the
Or snaps.
smiling, or the smiling audiences.
Uh-huh.
They're enjoying it, but they're not emoting.
Yeah,
That's
I had a front row on Friday night that didn't even give me the smiles.
oh,
It's
two
like I don't know.
words.
Yeah, I don't know. Like once you see people with their arms crossed in the front row, it's like it doesn't matter if people are laughing in the back. I am making eye contact with the people that are not laughing, and I can't get over it. So,
We always see you, those of you who come to the shows and do that, you somehow illuminate like a fluorescent, like
uh-huh.
I'm forgetting the word for it, a flashlight. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember the word. But you all are like flashlights in a comedy club. You just freak, and that's all I see.
Yep. So I couldn't
That's
get
all
over
I
it.
see.
And like I got good laughs at the show, but it was the people sitting like this in the
Oh,
front row that it's like
oh,
I think I think front row people are generally afraid that you're going to talk to them, so they're a little bit more guarded
yeah.
anyways. And this is I like Pete Holmes says it's like they're guarding their loins. It's like you're not going to get my loins.
Yes. Or they're wanting to take it. They want you to
Uh,
do that. I just did a show recently, and I saw the photos, beautiful photos were taken afterwards. This was at the Vice City Comedy Festival in Miami. It was their first
in
year.
Miami, yeah.
Yeah, and I got the photos back, and I zoomed in because my eye just went to this woman in the audience. And when I zoomed in and I put this on my Instagram, there was a photo of someone doing this. That's what
Which
you want as a
it could have been
comic.
fine.
You
Yeah.
want that reaction.
It's like,
She did not
yeah,
care for me. I saw
yeah.
her shaking the head the entire time. It was amazing.
That's okay. You don't have to be
But
everybody's cup of tea.
we don't. But let's spill some tea right now and get into some advice because
Oh, yeah, sure.
the name of the show is practically
Yeah,
advice. And
practically advice, and we didn't even mention that at the top of the show. It's okay. We'll have that.
no, we are going to re-record the intro at the end and then I'll tack it on at the start and it'll be
That sounds like a good
seamless,
idea.
everybody. Be seamless. But we're Greg and I aren't trained advice givers. We're comics. And we're
Yeah,
humans, so
but
we have
we've seen
thoughts.
enough, and we know quite a bit. As we said, we're old and we understand life more than a lot of people. That's what comes with being old is the wisdom of
Yeah,
having seen
we're
almost everything.
older. I
That's
think
older.
older softens it.
Hey, you're probably right, and I'm older than you, so we'll leave
You
it at that.
are.
All right, so here's our letter for the
Okay.
week. Dear Kelly and Greg, uh, I'm hoping you can shed some light on a sticky situation that's been weighing on my mind. I've always thought of these. Oh, this is about a wedding. I've always
Okay.
thought of weddings as occasions, as a time to capture everyone who matters. But it seems like not everybody else agrees with this, and it's caused some hurt feelings. Here's what happened. My boyfriend, Tom, and I have been together for 2 years, and we're pretty serious, talking about moving in together and all that. Last month at my cousin's wedding, it was a beautiful day full of love and family. And when it came time for group photos, I assumed Tom would be included,
Mhm.
especially since I introduced him to everyone and he'd been chatting with my aunts and uncles all night. But when the photographer started arranging us, my mom pulled me aside and said, "Oh, honey, these are just for family. Tom can sit this one out." I was stunned. Tom overheard, and though he smiled and stepped back graciously, I could tell he felt like an outsider. Later,
Mhm.
he admitted that it stung to be excluded, especially since he'd gone out of his way to be a part of the celebration, helping up set up chairs and even dancing with my little cousins. I get that weddings are about the bride and groom, and maybe my family didn't want extras in the official shots. But where's the line? If we're not married yet, does that mean he's not family enough? Some of my cousins had their spouses in the photos, and even one brought a fiance that she'd only been with for 6 months. Meanwhile, Tom and I were left feeling like our relationship didn't measure up. It's made me wonder how to handle this at future events. Should I speak up next time, or is it better just to let it go? How do I navigate this without stepping on toes or leaving my partner feeling like he doesn't belong? What say you? Sincerely, Rebuked in Dubuque. I know. So this
Rebuked.
is
Family enough. That really
that.
just stood out to me.
Yes, exactly.
Whoa.
I know
Wow.
this is something that I think a lot of people have experience with this because it's not just weddings, it's holidays, it's Christmas photos, it's whatever. And
Yeah.
if you bring a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend
Yeah.
to the event and then it's time to take photos, do you put that person in the photos? It,
That, I'm coming at this as someone who has gone to so many events uh as a as a as a one, not even a plus one. It's just me.
yeah.
So I've had two occasions where I've been to a wedding and I either brought my boyfriend at the time or the recent wedding I went to was my niece Charlotte and my dear friend Monica came with me as my guest. Um, and we took photos but separate.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of get the idea of keeping that within sort of like a framework of, connectivity
Yeah.
on the family tree, but then do something with the others, or take one
Yeah.
fun photo.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
So,
do one with everybody, like
yeah,
whoever else is there. Like, does it matter that they're even in the family? If they're at the wedding, do a big photo with
exactly.
everybody
You
and
can't see
then
it on my
do like,
shelf. Yeah, you can't see it
yeah,
on my shelf, but Charlotte got a drone, because the
yeah.
kids have drones these days, and they did a huge group shot with everybody. So I
Oh, I
think
love
like
that. Yeah.
do a little something extra.
Right. I guess part of
Yeah,
me feels like, what's the point of excluding at this point?
that's
Right?
true. Yeah,
Like he was
yeah,
invited to the wedding,
exactly.
like he was
Yeah,
supposed to be there. He didn't crash the wedding. Also, like the idea that they have to be married or engaged in order for him to count, like what you said, like family enough. What if their plan isn't to get married? What if this is
exactly.
it for them? Like is like not
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like
That's
not
it.
not everybody gets married these days. So are we
No.
saying that like you have to be married in order to qualify for the photo? I have a real problem with that.
Yeah, that's a bit too that's a bit too on the nose, like overly must follow traditional rules
Uh-huh.
and,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I'm not down for that because I agree. I've got an equal number of friends that are in long-term relationships. I'm in a
Uh-huh.
long-term relationship. I don't think, well, we'll talk about what my situation is off camera, but I don't I've grown up with parents who dated for 10 years and then got married just for okay, we'll get
Yeah.
married. I'm not entirely sure why they did, but they did. But um I've got an equal number of friends who are like, kind of like that or it, and
Yeah.
and I my folks never pushed my brother and I, okay, it's it's been you got to get married now. Kevin and my brother Kevin and his wife, they dated for like 8 years before they got married.
Right.
So
Right.
never grown up in a home where that is like the thing to do.
Yeah. And
Um,
to
yeah.
think like year 7 or 8 in that relationship, they go to a function, a family event, and she's still being excluded from photos. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, what if you have kids, but you're not married? Does that
Yes.
person still not
Yeah.
get not,
It's like, no, the
can't be in the
kids are,
pic?
but not the wife. It's all right. Not the lady.
That's messed up.
It is messed up. So
Yeah.
when I read this, I was like, oh, well, okay, well, Tom needs to just suck it up and just realize, like, no, he doesn't need to suck it up. He was supposed to be at that wedding. They should have found a way to
Yeah.
get him into a photo, even if they wanted to
Yeah.
do a separate photo with just blood relatives after that.
Yeah.
But
Or do a group shot of all the side pieces.
oh, there you go. That's a fun photo, actually. I think the side pieces. I really love that. So I think you and I are sort of on the same page on this. It's like it seems like
Yeah.
a
I call
relic of
shenanigans.
an older tradition that just needs to
Yeah.
go away at this point. Like if you're at the function, get in the photo.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
say tradition schmadition. Schmadition. Like I am all for a Vegas wedding or a wedding at a McDonald's or a
Oh
city
yeah.
hall,
Uh-huh.
get two people. Totally. Do what you
Yeah.
wanted to do. Yeah.
I have a friend that just got married at a Waffle House.
That is dope.
I know.
Despite the fact that I had my visa compromised at a Waffle House.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. It was as embarrassing to tell the person I had to call at Visa that you see those thousands of dollars worth of charges at the Waffle House. Those weren't mine. It was humiliating to say.
Yeah. That's when they do that thing where they have to read off all of the charges, and it's like, okay, well, this charge, like, I see you went to Wendy's on this day. Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
I see you went to Taco Bell the next day. Yeah, that was
that
me.
was me.
Wait, I see you went to Taco Bell a second time that same day. Yeah, that was also me. I did Taco Bell
Yeah.
twice in the same day.
Yeah. I think that's why Visa didn't call me because based on my food habits, that kind of would track. But also $1,000 at a waffle. Did they cater a fucking wedding with my Visa?
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was my friend's wedding.
Like,
We'll connect off camera for that too. We'll get the information.
oh my gosh. But no, I am 100%. Speaking of Vegas wedding, this is one of my absurd facts that I have about myself. I have a little collection of strange Kelly things. But I went and oh gosh, I think it was a Jonas brother, but I inadvertently attended kind of one of the Jonas brothers getting married in Vegas.
Oh,
We I may need to put in the YouTube show description if this is and it was someone else I'm thinking of. But I used to do commentary for TMZ. They have a show online at I think noon Pacific or something. Yeah, noon Pacific. And I did that for like 3 years. And there was one day where I was talking to Harvey and Charles, and they cut in because there was a wedding happening in Vegas, and we all just joined in. So I kind of went to this wedding of, I think it was Joe Jonas.
So, so you weren't actually at the wedding, but you were
Well, we were watching it, so we were kind of
okay.
at the wedding.
You were wedding adjacent.
We were wedding it.
That's almost yeah.
We should
I
have been
have
in the photos.
you should have been in the
Me and the
photos. Like
TMZ team should have been in the
like
photos.
that would be like the opposite of what TMZ actually does.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They were fun to work for 3 years, but
Oh,
yeah,
that does
that
sound
is
like fun.
true.
I, related
Oh
to sort
man.
of like the Joe Jonas, I have a Joey Fatone story. I was on a cruise ship with Joey Fatone from
What? How was
yes, I
this
know
not
from
the lead
NSYNC.
when I met you?
I know.
Okay.
No,
Tell, what happened?
I got to hang out with Joey Fatone. We drank the night away actually, because he and I it was like the people I was there with, which was my former in-laws, and Joey Fatone was at the bar where we were singing karaoke on the cruise ship. He sang
Did you,
karaoke with his dad. I sang karaoke in front of Joey Fatone. So yeah,
was there a duet?
there, I never got to sing with Joey Fatone. They had shut down the karaoke by the time that I actually got myself over to the bar to talk to him. But
He
we
seems
closed the bar
nice.
down. He's such a cool guy. He was so much fun to hang out with. And
He's,
we got to get a little bit of the dirt about what happens on the tour bus.
oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, so he had some JT stories. Uh obviously that they don't hang out anymore, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah, but he's still
That's
close with all the other
amazing.
guys. It was so much fun. Like he's just a regular guy.
He
Just
seems like it. He
uh-huh.
seems like it. I like him in the My Big Fat Greek Wedding
He's
movies.
so and
He's
when I had
fun.
met him, he was just about to start filming the second one. I think that have they made three? I think they made three at this point.
Yes. I've
Yeah,
only
he was
seen
just
the
about to
first
film the
two.
second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never saw the
Um
third one. That's so great.
I know.
Wow. I dated a
There's
guy who was in an NSYNC cover band.
oh my.
Yeah. And when we went to karaoke, he was like having, the wild card, the dark horse in the room. He just destroyed.
Yeah,
So good.
that's really funny. I do remember that he sang Under the Boardwalk with his dad at karaoke. So it was kind of cute actually.
Oh man, there's a pre-pandemic for sure was a bigger thing. I don't know if it still happens as much now, but interestingly, here in Toronto, when it comes to comedy, there's a lot of comedy and karaoke shows. Is that
Oh
a
yeah,
thing
we
where you live?
I have not experienced that, but I have heard about it in other places, but we don't have anything like that in
Yeah,
Michigan. Yeah,
you should start it. Call
I should.
Joey.
I should. I really love singing karaoke. Since I've
I,
stopped drinking, I don't do it very often because the bar I used to hang out with had a karaoke night, but
oh yeah,
yeah.
I've only ever done karaoke sober,
Oh, that's good.
which is
I
why I've done karaoke 3 times. Not a fan. Not a fan. Oh man, this has been good. I feel like this has been a pretty good first episode. Viewers, listeners, if you're
yeah,
watching this on YouTube and you're just listening with your ears, let us know what you think in the comments. Send us some questions. We need more questions.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions are welcome. We'll talk about advice or I like
Yes.
I like the things that are sort of like around etiquette, like what we did
Yeah.
today. It's just things
Yes.
like that are sort of like help deconstruct how we can all be more normal humans.
Yes. Questions like, should I be annoyed that my partner only gives the thumbs up on my social media posts and not
Oh
hearts?
heavens. Yeah. If is
Which
that a real
someone I
thing?
know does.
Oh my goodness. Wait, is that me? Are you talking about me?
Then the next question's going to be confused in Toronto. And I'll be like, wow, that sounds like something I wrote.
my my podcast co-host keeps sending little thumbs ups on.
It's
Wait, that's
not
not
you.
real. I know. I'm looking. I'm going back through my mind. It's like I'm not a thumbs up guy. I do not do the thumbs up unless I really mean it. Like if I want to sound like passive aggressive, you're getting a thumbs up.
It's interesting. Thumbs up, I find on Facebook. I'm either like, heck yeah, I'll give that a thumb up. And sometimes I'm like, fuck you, I'll just acknowledge I saw your
Hmm.
post.
Well, one thing I really like that Facebook allows you to do is you can replace the thumbs up, like the automatic reply. You
Mm,
can change it to a different emoji
yes.
because
Yeah.
most of the thumbs up I send are accidental anyways. So if it's somebody I talk to a lot, I will change that to an emoji that I don't mind sending accidentally.
Yeah. They need an eye roll or a B. Arthur emoji. That needs to
Oh, there you
happen.
go.
The whole
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
All right. What do you have coming up? What's new? What shows you got?
Show-wise, March 24th in Toronto, I run a monthly show along with a fantastic Toronto comic named Desiree Walsh at the Imperial Pub. It's Toronto's oldest pub. It's called Happy Hour, March 24th. It is a 8 p.m. show. It is a fully accessible venue, so you can walk in, you can roll in with your scooter. And it's really fun. And we give away popcorn from a great company called Comeback Snacks. They're a Canadian company whose mandate is everybody deserves a second chance, which I totally agree with. They employ people who are newly out of the prison systems and need a good job and a good right foot to get started off on back in the world. So yeah, definitely come out to that. It's $5 if you buy
Oh,
online.
oh, yeah. Get your tickets now.
It's amazing. Get your tickets, friends. What do you have coming up, Greg?
I have a show at the Robin Theater in Lansing, Michigan on March
Yes.
13th. I am co-headlining that show with Tam White.
Awesome.
I will be in Port Huron, Michigan with Derek Richards on March 21st. I
Perfect.
don't even know the venue for that one, so I have no more information. I found out about that one today.
Need to know basis.
I, I apparently don't need to know. Derek told me we're driving together, so hopefully he knows the direction. Uh,
Get in the van, Greg. Okay.
and of course, the Traverse City Comedy Fest, April 10th
Yes,
through the 12th. That is in Traverse City, Michigan. Can't wait for that.
definitely. And I want to give a shout out to something I am doing. It's a few months away in May. And on my socials will be a ticket link very soon. I am recording album number 2, everybody.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
I'm so excited doing that with Comedy Dynamics. It's going to be May 19th in Toronto at the Red Sandcastle Theater. It's going to be a really good time. So please come because I am having such severe, no one's going to come to my party
I,
anxiety.
I will tell you this. If my passport is here in time, I will try to make it out for that. My
It'd
passport
be
is in
amazing.
process right now, so pretty soon I'll be able to
Amazing.
make it across the border.
That's awesome. I would love that. All right, we'll do this again, friends. This has been Practically Advice.
I am Greg.
Practically. I'm Kelly.
She is Kelly.
He's Greg.